Yo, welcome to Unboxed Radio, the show where we talk about the biggest and latest news in the world of sneakers and much more. Today, you got myself, Marco, and Cory. Cory, how you feeling?
What up, man? How you feeling, dog?
I'm good, man. Another week. We're missing Casey today, but I think you and I will have the people covered.
Oh, yeah, we got it for sure.
Great. In our first section, News Unboxed, where we cover some of the biggest news stories in the world of sneakers and beyond, we have some news coming out of Foot Locker Inc. According to a report over the weekend, Nike will be pulling some of its key product from Foot Locker. This caused a $950 million decline in Foot Locker stock. Cory, what do you think about Foot Locker carrying less Nike sneakers now as the big brand looks to focus more on direct-to-consumer?
I mean, it's wild, man. I mean, this is another indication and another proof that, you know, the days of old are what they are. They're the old days, right? I feel like, you know, it's kind of an outdated formula for how you know, sneaker brands and stuff move like that. Like you said, like the mom and pop stores, you know, are, you know, becoming more and more non-existent. And now you're seeing like the major footwear retail chains actually, you know, start taking this heat too. You know, I think that, you know, it makes sense, I guess, for Nike. You know, they look at it like, hey, we have the platforms, you know, we've created our own platforms to be able to sell our shoes and our products with, you know, sneakers app, actual retail stores, the Nike app. You know, it's so easy to be able to buy, you know, Nike product now that I think they just don't see the need for it. I mean, I think, you know, it's an opportunity. You know, if Foot Locker were smart, they'd be able to pivot to kind of smaller rising brands and give them space, you know, in their stores and give them space, you know, in their web commerce platform and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you know, I miss the days of going to Foot Locker at 10 a.m. and copping up. And this is just another indication that those days are behind us.
Yeah, those 2 for 89 days are definitely behind us. But
man, damn, I forgot about the 2 for 89s.
Yeah, we've seen this happen over the last few years. Some very sad stories about mom and pop shops, skate shops, sneaker shops that really helped build Nike's brand, getting their counts eliminated. But now they're trying to see it affect the big brand retailers, which is an interesting look into the future of Nike. They're building all of their stuff in-house now, and they want to control that user experience. So I can see it being a benefit for the sneakerhead who wants those experiences, whether it's on app or through activations. But again, it's tough to see some of the stores that we grew up shopping in declining when it comes to the product that we want. Foot Locker has been a little bit ahead of this with green space and trying to invest in other little and other independent brands or up and coming brands, but it's yet to be seen how this will impact them overall. But it's been a long time since I think Foot Locker was having that pivot, that pinnacle product every weekend. Yeah, they get a retro, but those days seem to have been winding down anyways. Yeah. So interesting to see. The next news we have is on Friday, Doernbecher and Nike unveiled the Freestyle collection for 2022. This was a virtual event, and proud to say that SoleSavy was the presenting sponsor for this collection. Tons of awesome shoes, but what's more important is the stories behind these patient designers. Cory, what do you think about this year's Doernbecher Freestyle collection?
Yo, man, so I mean, you know, kind of being a more ignorant, you know, sneakerhead and stuff like that back in the day, I didn't really understand the concept of Doernbechers. I just thought it was somebody somewhere that had these collaborations, right? Obviously, you know, over time, you know, you learn the stories about the hospital and, you know, how, you know, I think it's incredibly dope how Nike and Jordan, you know, continue to give, you know, these kids this, you know, probably the biggest platform to be able to show their creative abilities, to show their ideas, you know, and allow them to really, you know, not just touch, you know, some forgotten models in the Nike lexicon and create a collaboration. Like they're getting, they did a blazer. Like, you know, we can get more staples. They have dunks. I see LeBron's on there. And I don't, you know, you probably would tell me more. Is this the first time they've done merch? I don't remember seeing corresponding merch with the shoes. I've seen the shoes, of course, but like, I don't know if this is the first time. I don't know if this is the first time we've seen merch, but the merch is dope. You know, and I mean, I really hope that, you know, like, you know, we see more stuff like this from other brands, from other projects and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's dope, man. Like, you know, these kids are getting a once in a lifetime opportunity, and they're definitely making the most of it.
Yeah, I have to double check on the merch, but it's always cool to see these type of collections come to life. And again, I'm super proud that SoleSavy was involved. When we first engaged in this partnership last year, we were a sponsor, but not the presenting sponsor. And they let us know that we were the first ever sneaker related brand to ever be the presenting sponsor, which is kind of crazy to think about when you think about how ingrained Doernbecher is with sneaker culture. Yeah. So it's awesome to see that. And again, the shoes are great, but like you mentioned, a once in a lifetime opportunity. And this is one of the coolest things Nike does. And I hope that it continues forever. The next news story hit Twitter this weekend is Gucci times Adidas. So we've been seeing a lot of crossover collabs between high fashion and sneakers. What do you think about this one?
I think it's ill. I think Adidas, while Nike has a lot of the market share of like cool stuff, I'm a huge fan of Adidas more classic silhouettes, classic apparel. You got Gazelles, you got Stan Smiths, you got, shell toes and stuff like that. So, and even just from a lot of the pictures that I've seen from it, I saw some of the sheet sneakers. I think I saw like a Gazelle on there. I saw like some like of the actual like clothing pieces as well. As long as it's two very like classic, timeless, silhouettes in there, tracksuits, hoodies, like things of that sort, I think it can be a smash.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. For me, this one misses the mark. But again, I'm not the target consumer here. I don't own pieces of Gucci. I'm not much of a high fashion guy, a little bit above my pay grade. But however, if you're a Gucci fan, I can see the kind of funkiness of the colors appealing to you, right? I'm glad they didn't go with the straight up, like, throw our logo on an existing shoe. Yeah. I thought the Prada stuff was done pretty tastefully, the most recent one, the Forum. So yeah, it's interesting to see them swinging for the fences on these collaborations, because like you mentioned, Nike really dominates when it comes to these crossover collabs. I'm glad that Adidas is at least trying out here and they're doing something unexpected instead of kind of going with just a new colorway or something like that. Now onto the drops of the week, or in this case, the one drop that everybody's talking about. It's the Nocta x Nike Hot Step Air Terra White and Triple Black, aka Drake's first signature shoe. Releasing on Thursday, March 3rd for about $150 USD. What do you think about these?
You said 150? That's actually not a bad price point. I'm kind of surprised by that. That's why I had to ask again. I could see Drake kind of swinging for the fences with price wise and stuff like that. He's the boy. I feel like he thinks he can do that, but to see him making it, a pretty normal price range is dope. I would have to see these on feet. I think that, I've seen pictures, the pictures didn't really necessarily blow me away. I've seen the white colorway, the black colorway. I thought I saw a black and yellow colorway, but I'm not sure. Those look kind of cooler. I'll have to see these on feet. I don't know if we've ever done a need to see these on feet, if it's buy or pass. If not, I'm going to be the first one in Unboxed Radio history to do that. But yeah, I need to see them. I need to see them in person. I need to see how they look. Theoretically, I could definitely see these like a tracksuit or a sweatsuit or something like that and be cool. I'm not necessarily sure I'm wearing these to the club, but I need to see them in person just to be sure.
Yeah, we talked about these in length last week, and I mentioned that they were growing on me, and I want to clarify that because a few people called me out and said, hey, we had separate conversations. These were not growing on you. There are some of those comparisons to the K-Swiss and the Fila Disruptors. What I meant is the design was growing on me in a way that I felt was authentic to Drake. If he's going to create a shoe, I want it to be a shoe that he's going to wear. I also think that he's done a great job getting the cosigns from real sneaker aficionados like DJ Khaled, Lil Yachty. I saw with Steve did a pair. So he's doing a good job getting these on the right people. And I have no doubt that they're going to sell out. Still not for me, but I appreciate that he created a shoe that goes with his wardrobe, his persona, and his style. The next segment is Hot Take. This is where we discuss and share our thoughts on hot takes made by either a celebrity, sneakerhead, or community member during this week. This actually happened a couple of weeks ago, but it led to a really dope conversation between DP and the author of this hot take, or maybe warm take, Hovain Hylton, who's the president of cinematic management. Hovain tweeted out, "The sneaker game isn't for people who actually like sneakers anymore." And that led to a number of conversations on Twitter. It went viral, and then we were able to get Hovain on the podcast so he could elaborate on this. Cory, is this a hot take?
No, man. I think it's a state of the times. Like sneaker culture, streetwear, sneaker game, all that stuff used to be kind of a niche market, right? Like, it used to be for the people that knew that, there were overseas exclusives. It was for people that knew the mom and pop who owned the mom and pop store, and they would get their shoes a week early. And it's not that anymore. I feel as though that, the game has changed. Those of us who are still in it are either adapting or not. I always refuse to buy a bot I'm just like, bro, I'm not doing that just to buy a pair of shoes. Like if I can't get them out of, you know, my own luck of trying to hit a website, I'm not going to do it. But I mean, yeah, man, it's definitely more of a retail business. It's always been about the dollar, but now it's about the dollar on the aftermarket. I think this is a pretty normal take. I mean, I think he's right. You know, and I mean, look at what we just talked about with Nike and Foot Locker and how they're pulling from, you know, that old school, you know, the days in the era of how we used to get our shoes, of just walking in at 10 o'clock on Saturdays. You know, the game ain't the game no more. And it's, you know, it's just up to us to figure out how we can still play it.
Yeah, and if you are seeing this tweet for the first time and hearing this discussion, I highly recommend you check out that podcast episode with our CEO, DP, and Hovain.
Shout out to DP, man.
Yeah, and just doing the research about this, I was listening to some other stuff that Hovain had spoke on, his take on sneakers, and it was a really insightful and great point of view to hear from, because he's somebody who loves shoes and has loved shoes for a long time. And I think a lot of people can relate to his feelings these days, where it's all the hype and the flexing. It's not necessarily about the people who like them and try to pick out a shoe that necessarily is a reflection of them, and more so trying to just impress the masses. So definitely check that episode out. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Moving on to our next segment, man, this segment is called year.The, and I couldn't think of a more appropriate title, because this dude wore his Gore-Tex Air Jordan 1s like all the way in a puddle, and he's claiming on Instagram that his socks stay dry. Other people are saying that they need to see the socks to see proof. This stuff is always funny to me, but I'm actually genuinely curious if his socks stay dry, because it looks like it's leaking into the tongue a little bit.
I was about to say that.
And I found a hard time believing that they had that full Gore-Tex there. What do you think about this photo?
Now, I was gonna call cap. You know, I mean, I could definitely see him. Obviously, he's all the way submerged in past the toe box, but at the very least, he is for sure creeping into like where the tongue, like the bottom of the tongue is. So one step and everything's gonna get wet in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, it's funny whenever people, you know, try to do like these, like, you know, try to create these viral moments. I remember a dude who made the bread fours out of the golf versions and stuff like that. You know, he put it to the test for real. I mean, I think there would be other ways to do this, but you know, I think he's capping. The socks was wet, and it's okay. But it's just like the socks was wet.
This is interesting. Back in my sneaker copywriting days, when we would release shoes that had winterized material on them, like let's say a winterized Jordan, we had to be very careful about saying that it was waterproof. But now that it's actually an official collab with Gore-Tex, I'm curious. I need to go back and see if they're claiming that it's fully waterproof or not, because a lot of times these brands got to cover themselves. So they'll say, hey, this is water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So I think he might be putting that to the test, but I'm going to have to check it out. Yeah, for me, this is, if you can't avoid it, I'd rather be wearing those pairs than something else. I'm not going out of my way to test this in that freezing cold weather and that nasty ass photo.
It's just nasty.
We usually only do one, but this was just a week of clownery on the internet. This guy wanted to prove the age-old sneakerhead phrase, wear your kicks. Okay. And he wore his Travis Scotts to the gym, doing lunges, doing all sorts of activities in them. And I get it, wear your shoes, but I don't know if I'm gonna wear a Travis Scott one or a one in general, or a Grail level shoe to the gym just to prove to people that I rock them. Is this something you're doing?
Hell no. What? First off, I don't even know if those ones would even have the best support that you would need in order to get that a good type of workout in. You're definitely risking hurting yourself. But I mean, yo, he's doing lunges, and you said in the Travis ones. Again, man, it's all about the desire to be viral. You know, I wish him well. I'm a fan of wear your sneakers. I believe it. You know, it's no use of buying them and keeping them in the box, or, you know, in the case just to say you got them. But, you know, like there's certain things that's non-negotiables. G, you don't wear them Jones to the gym with that.
Yeah, to me, this is like how to go viral 101 on sneaker Twitter or sneaker Instagram. And it's been happening for a long time. Dating back to my social editor days at Complex, when we were, you know, reposting things that were funny or go viral. If you're doing something ridiculous in your shoes, you're probably going to get reposted, because we know as social editors that those comments are going to be going off. People are going to be insulting this guy. Why are you creasing the toe box, et cetera, et cetera. They must be fake. So I know what he's doing here. And it's still funny to me every now and then, but I get it. If you're going to wear your shoes, you should be wearing them because you want to wear them and enjoy them and look fly, not necessarily because you want other people to notice or because you want to go viral, but hey, you got to do your own thing. Who knows? Maybe he's like a super heavyweight lifter. I see people like lifting in chucks and different types of unconventional gym shoes. Maybe the one is just right for his particular specialty in lifting weights. For me, I'm gonna go with some like Air Maxes or something.
Dude, like the cringe I have from just seeing just the toe box on those, because like we all know, once the toe box goes on ones, it's on its way to the land of cooked sneaker. So like, why he did that, I don't know. I mean, you know, I guess he wanted the overtime comment, and he probably.
I'm not a cooked sneaker enthusiast by any means. However, if I cooked his shoe myself because I've been wearing it a lot, I've been traveling in it, etc., and it's game worn, like that's my shoe. I don't have a problem with creases and.
I put the time in on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you did that. Not because you want to go viral and you're doing it. Because like even the camera angle you see, it isn't like he's just getting in a good workout and you notice like, yo, he's wearing the Travis Scott's in there and like them Jones is creasing. It's a specific shot for a specific shoe. Like, come on, G. Everybody, we all need to do better, y'all.
On that note, let's start this week off by doing better. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Unboxed Radio. If you like this, make sure to leave us a comment, hit subscribe, drop a like. Catch us every Tuesday and Friday at the SoleSavy YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Cory.
All right. Peace, Marco.